With less than 1 week to go from the Netflix debut, today we're talking how you can get started in this industry with no experience, and if you're here long enough, how you can get an agent and a manager. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, get yourself a pad and a pen, and get ready to take some notes. I don't know why the hell I told you to go and get a pad and a pen. This isn't the 90s. We're living in the digital age. If this information resonates with you, you can just save the video for later. I really dated myself there, but hey, the grays are coming in. You see it. I can't hide it. But either way, let's start with how you can get into this industry with no experience. Now, depending on where you're at in the totem pole of life, I would argue that the younger you are, the easier your path into the industry is going to be, because in grade school, we're talking elementary through high school, you have access to drama clubs and drama classes. Take advantage of the free education while you have it at your disposal, because once the free years of education are done, well, then it's on to the college level. And even though the collegiate level of education offers a wider spectrum to choose from, you're still paying tuition. So like all college majors, make sure this is really what you want to do. But let's say for sake of argument, you're done with the school years. You're already an adult, you're out there in the real world, you're grinding it out, and for whatever reason, you wake up one day and you go, I want to try that. I really want to get into this. Well, you're in luck, because that is step one. Step two, I would suggest, go and find local casting agencies in your area and get on their free email list. Every single one of these agencies has these email lists, because every now and then they are going to have to cast large projects, and they're going to have to hold what's known as an open casting call. This is literally how I got my first big on-screen break as the guy who takes the selfie with the ghost on Leslie Jones's shoulders in Ghostbusters. And I got that without even 2 full years of experience in the industry.
Going back to my booth at the MTA. So let me know if you need some Metro cards, because I am really...
That concert scene required hundreds and hundreds of actors. So picture this. If you're in casting, right, and you have to cast, say, 700 actors, and you got to sit in a room with one after the other actor coming into your room just so they can slate to go, hi, my name is Derek, I'm from Rhode Island. You're going to be stuck in that room for literal days. Nobody's doing that. And to boot, I'll take it one step further, to find 700 working actors all available on the same shoot day, it doesn't happen in our industry. This is where these free email lists come in so handy for casting agents, and they're also one of the best and easiest ways for you to gain access to the castings. As long as you show up with a headshot and a resume, you're golden. But don't get hung up on the R word there, okay? When a lot of newbies tend to hear the word resume, they panic because they more than likely don't have one. But seeing as how I'm using background as an example here, which is where most people start, don't stress the resume at that level, okay? They're not looking for people who can perform Shakespeare at the drop of a hat. They're looking for real people who can fill a scene, and that's what you are. You're a real person. You exist. You're here. Casting loves you when they have to put a bunch of people on screen, all right? But say you're somebody who wants to go the extra mile, right? You like to put in that extra effort before you show up to castings. You want to have a resume. Well, here's 3 things that you can do right now with no experience to start building that resume. Join a local theater. If you have a willingness to learn, this is not only a great starting point, but these are some of the most generous, supportive, and welcoming actors you will ever meet. But say theater isn't really your thing. There are still 2 other avenues you can go down. They're a little off the wall, so let's keep an open mind, because that would be stand-up comedy and professional wrestling, baby, because those are the 2 crafts that I was learning when I first broke into acting. They don't really require any experience to get started. All that really matters is that you got the balls to start. The people who are on the other sides of those doors of stand-up comedy and pro wrestling, they are already aware of how hard what they do is, so they're always welcoming to new blood. Now, I would argue stand-up comedy, a little bit safer than pro wrestling. Taking bumps on a daily basis can really suck after a while. But they both get you comfortable with being on camera. they get you comfortable performing in front of a live audience, and they give you the opportunity to build an entertainment portion of your resume. I can wholeheartedly admit the stand-up comedy and professional wrestling portions of my resume opened almost every single door I have walked through in acting. Now, if you want to know more about my time in either stand-up comedy and or professional wrestling, be sure to comment, tell me more in the comments, and we'll save that for another video. But for right now, let's start talking about how you can get an agent and a manager, because it doesn't just stop with an agent and a manager. If you're in this industry long enough, you're going to need what I call the 4 pillars. And no, that is not a reference to AEW. That is talking about your agent, your manager. At some point, you're going to need a public relations team, and you're going to need a legal team. Trust me, some of the contracts that are going to be put in front of you can get very confusing. Having a lawyer that can explain things to you like you're a 4-year-old instead of a bunch of legal jargon, oh, that is just mwah. So how do you actually build this team of industry reps? Well, before you ask that question, I'm going to challenge you to first think like you're an industry rep. So picture this. Your days are filled with messages, emails, and press kits from would-be actors who want to be on your roster. All right? But somewhere out there, there's an actor busting their ass, making so many waves that their name is starting to come up in a lot of different conversations, and their name just crossed your desk. Which talent are you going to reach out to? Are you going to reach out and connect with the one who won't stop being a pester? Or are you going to reach out to the talent whose reputation is already preceding them? Now that you're in that mindset, now we can ask, how do I build this team of industry reps? You don't. You don't find them. They find you. The key to building a great team of representatives in this industry lies in the power of your resume. I didn't sign with my first agency or even start having conversations like that until I already had over 7 years of dedicated hard work on that piece of paper known as a resume. And when I was a lead actor in a live-action dinner theater show, one of the supporting actors started talking me up, saw my resume, and goes, "Dude, do you mind if I introduce you to my reps? I think they would love you." I signed with those reps about a month later, and I'm still with them to this day. My intent with these style of videos is always to help and attempt to educate in the process. So if you gained anything from this video, don't be shy. Please be sure to let me know in the comments, and don't hold back from any questions in reference to my career as an actor. I am always happy to share this information. And now comes the part of the video for all the promo. I'm sorry, I gotta do it, okay? Because if you love this information, I got my ebook linked down in the description, or you can just subscribe here to the channel where I share everything for free. But don't forget to tune into Netflix February 10th for the debut of Aftermath, because once that happens, I can finally start opening up about the experience of filming this movie. I got a lot of stories to share on the channel. So until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you on set.